In this video, we will go over for each method in JavaScript, which is available for arrays. So before we begin, I would like to clarify some of the key points to keep in mind before implementing the for each method. Okay. Other than throwing an error, there is no way to stop or break a for each loop. If you are expecting such behavior, then for each is not a right method. We could not pass any asynchronous functions or promises as a for each callbacks because the for each method expects a synchronous function. Okay. If we are passing the arrow function expression as the callback method, then this argument parameter can be omitted. We are back in the VS Code, and this time we have got an array of numbers. So we must create a new array using this numbers array. Let's say we must multiply these numbers by 2, right? So to accomplish this, we must iterate over the array items. Am I correct? This is the case we should use for each method. So whenever we want to iterate over the array items to make any side effects, right? In that case, we can use for each method. Let's make a new empty array called copy. Then apply the for each method to the numbers array. This for each method takes a callback method as an argument. So let's write a function called loop array that takes 3 arguments: an item, an index, and an array. Since we don't need the third argument, we can omit it. Except the first argument, all arguments are optional. Now let us understand about the item and the index. So to understand about the item and index, let's include a console statement. This console statement executes on every iteration and prints the index and the item. And according to the documentation, the for each method doesn't alter the original array. So let's print the console statement to see the original array. Let us now save the changes. If you look at the terminal, you will notice that the first iteration index is 0 and the item is 5. In the second iteration, the index is 1 and the item is 10. And in the third iteration, the index is 2 and the item is 15. The for each method will iterate over each item in the array in ascending order, that is based on the index, which starts at 0 and continues until the last item in the array. We now have a good understanding of the item and the index. Now we will multiply the items one by one. In this case, multiply the item by 2 and push the value to the copy array. Okay. So copy.push of item multiplied by 2. Let's now run the console statement to see the changes in the copy array. We'll now save the modifications. Fine. As per our expectation, we can able to see the console statements. Am I right? We'll transform the loop array function into the arrow function. Then we will try to use the third argument in the for each method. So let's make a new array of string values. Now we will try to insert the string hello before each item in the array. To accomplish this, add a for each method to the string array and include all the 3 arguments. Let's say item, index, and an array in the callback method. Let us play with the string array in the arrow function. Here, array of index, that is, we are referencing the string array. Okay. And index would be something that changes for each iteration. Am I right? For example, suppose index is 0 for the first iteration and index is 1 for the second iteration, and so on. So, array of index 0 returns John, array of index 1 returns Zara, and array of index 3 returns Jacqueline, right? Is equal to the string value of hello and then appending the item. which could be John, Zara, or Jacqueline. That depends on the index of the array, right? So, in the first iteration, John is replaced with Hello John. In the second iteration, Zara is replaced with Hello Zara. And in the third iteration, Jacqueline is replaced with Hello Jacqueline, right? We can able to get the updated string array using this console statement. Let us save the changes and see how it works. Fine. It is working as expected. So, if you want to manipulate the array, you can use the third argument in the callback method. Am I right? Then, we will end up the session using this letters array. Okay. We have to count the alphabets in this array. So, let's start with an empty object to identify it. Then, we will add the for each method to the letters array and include the item in the callback method. That is first argument. As per my previous statement, first argument is the mandatory argument in the callback method that cannot be left out. Then, within the callback method, we will include the condition. That is, if the alphabet exists in the object, we will increment the count value. Otherwise, set it to 1, right? Finally, we will write the console statement to see the count values. Let us save the changes. Fine. As per our expectation, we can able to see the count values, right? If you have any questions, please reach out to me via comment section. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again in the next video.